Another episode of What's the Word Wednesday. We back. Feel like it's been a minute, but we right back in it. We ain't gone nowhere. Another episode of What's the Word Wednesday, where we do our best to try to motivate you, encourage you, inspire you, lift you up, try to give you some practical nuggets, something that you can use for your business. Call me E. Clifton, one of your humble directors with this amazing opportunity. I'm gonna let these fellas go ahead and introduce themselves. Go ahead, take it away. Oh yeah.
This is Roger the Dodger, Rogers Nuggets, up
No,
close
you
and
know.
personal. How y'all doing out there?
I guess
Am
the
I
folks are good.
freezing? Am I breaking up?
You got that delay again, but I don't know about freezing. You got that delay for sure. Guys, it's Daryl Two Jackets Jenkins in the building with my bros and success once again. Welcome everybody. Tag your team. Get them on. Still early.
It absolutely is still early. Get your team and your folks on the building, in the building. What is Mr. Lillard doing back there with the background, sir? Go ahead with today's announcements.
I didn't want to be freezing up, so I went live from the headquarters, Rogers headquarters, Lillard's headquarters. How's everybody doing? We are back by popular demand. Yes, we are. How's everybody doing? Listen, so real quick with some announcements. First and foremost, if you're brand new, this is your first time on here, welcome to What's the Word Wednesdays, where we do this every first and third Wednesday, 7:30. Make sure you don't miss the next one. Coming right up, we have coming up, we have this coming Thursday, actually tomorrow night, we're going to be at Harborside Hotel, where we're going to have the number 2 money earner in all of Planet Marketing, Mr. Cedric White. He was our first millionaire, the documented millionaire in our company. He's going to be here in the flesh. And so if you are in the DMV, you want to make it out to Oxon Hill, the Harborside Hotel, training at 6:45. We're done about 7:15, and then we get started with the presentation at 7:30. Next up, Super Saturday in College Park. We're going to have, again, Mr. Cedric White, Nina Vitale, 4-star director, again, and other leaders of Mr. Preston Scott, our 4-star fearless leader. Other leaders there, Nate Newman as well, 3-star director, going to be there. So you want to get your tickets as well. There's still tickets left for that event. If you're in the DMV, you don't want to miss that one as well. Last but not least, convention coming up in next month, y'all. It's coming upon us. So there's still, I think, it's probably a little under 100 tickets left. You don't want to miss that. Again, we're going to have the hip hop preacher, number 1 motivational speaker in the world at this event. And you want to be there, Mr. Eric Thomas. This gentleman is he's going to give us a blast of information. Don't want to miss that. And that's my announcements for this evening.
That's what's up. That's what's up. You forgot to do the shout outs. We got a few people watching on YouTube. Shout out to everybody watching YouTube. We got some of y'all watching right now live in the Facebook group. So shout out to those. I can see the names right now. The 2, 3 people, 4, 5, 6 of y'all that's watching right now with us live. So shout out to you. Oh, I just seen one name pop up. DeAndre, what's going on, sir? I see Miss Deborah Barr. Miss Carmen Ellis. Shout out to you. What's good? What's good? And anybody else that jumps on. Listen, we appreciate the love, your time, and attention on this evening. Well, tonight's topic, going over something that you should be familiar with, but we're just going to give our own 2 cents on top of some of the stuff you've already heard about this particular topic, right? You guys probably haven't heard us discuss it. So on this evening, we will be discussing the acronym that is the Platinum Network, right? What that Platinum actually stands for. We're going to break it on down for you on tonight. We might not get through the entire thing on this evening, but we're going to chip away at it right before this evening's 8:30 Wind Down Wednesday. Did you bring it? Did you mention that? The Wind Down Wednesdays? I don't know if you did. You might have. But Wind Down Wednesday tonight at 8:30. So we're going to talk about this amazing team, this Platinum Network, and what that actually stands 4. So, Mr. Lillard, since you're the oldest on this platform, I'm gonna go ahead and give, they say age before beauty. We're gonna go ahead and give you the floor with the first letter of this acronym. Matter of fact, you one of the senior superstars that have been rolling with Mr. Scott since way back when. So it's fitting that you go ahead and break down the first letter of the acronym in platinum.
Well, yeah, I know I'm the oldest, but I look the youngest, so it's okay. It's okay. I mean, if I dye my beard up, I look about 35. So, but anyway, yeah. So platinum is our organization's it's an acronym, and we're going to talk about 4 of the letters tonight. But we're going to start with, of course, the letter P, which means patience, and you have to have the patience of a rhino. For instance, rhinos when they're, or I should say, hippos, where they not. That's an echo. Yeah, is that me?
Yeah, that's you.
Okay, we good. I heard an echo. Anyway, so when a rhino is standing in the water or in Africa, it's got birds on its back, it's got the heat on its back, and so you have to have that rhino skin. Like you really have to have the patience of a rhino. They're very patient. Um, if you're not patient in this business, it's going to be hard to go through whatever challenges that you have in your business. And so, again, without any challenges, right, it's going to be hard to grow anyway, because you can't grow without challenges. And so, whatever challenges that you have in your business, guess what? It's good because it's building up character for yourself. And so, I highly recommend, if someone says no, no just means no for right now. There are people that are partnering with us right now that told me no 4, 5, even 10 years ago, that are partnering now because I had patience. So we're not in a get rich quick scheme business. This is the long game. That's the main thing you got to remember. This is the long game. We're in this for the long haul, right? So again, if you're not where you want to be, you got to have those patience to where you want to go. And so watch this. And if you're not patient, then the folk that you bring on that partner with you, they're going to feel you being impatient. So you want to be patient in your business, right? And pass that on to your network as it grows.
Absolutely. Go ahead, jump on that one, Mr. Two Jackets.
Absolutely. I think that, your patience is also tied to your emotions, because I think sometimes when you're growing your business, most people become impatient with other people and they start getting emotionally tied to those responses or not responding, so they got to exercise some human emotional intelligence while they're also building up that patience level. I often tell people, you can't get frustrated if somebody doesn't join you at the first opportunity that you raise it. Think about how many times Roger had a conversation with you before you partnered with him, right? Sometimes, we got to understand that patience is going to take us through all of the trials and tribulations, and it's going to also teach you as you're growing through your process. So patience is definitely a must as you're doing this business.
P for patience. I figured I could just go ahead and pull out this what this word means. I know some of y'all think y'all know what the word means already, but let's see what the little dictionary says. Patience. The little dictionary. Patience, the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. The capacity to accept or tolerate delay or trouble or suffering without getting angry or upset. That's key to our organizations. And if you lack patience, this means you lack the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering. You can tell some people weren't very patient during what we would have considered one of the most troubled times of our lives during this pandemic. Some people were not very patient with the travel industry, and it actually thrived during that time of trouble. Some people actually during that time of mess were complaining like I don't know what. They couldn't tolerate the delay of growth. I'm gonna go do this other thing, right? Mr. Lillard, remember that term we talked about a few years back on one of the Western World Wednesdays? We did a whole training on delayed gratification. Delayed gratification. And see, some of us are so impatient and we don't have that delayed gratification. It's the reason why you end up quitting, walking away, or not doing that mundane thing that we tell you got to do over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. You lack the patience, because what happens in your mind, Mr. Lillard, the patience is in waiting for the money or the check behind all this work. When I go to my job, I know if I trade in these hours, I'm gonna get this money. You're impatient a little bit, right? We telling you to do stuff that the money ain't coming tomorrow. It ain't coming next week. And if you're thinking day to day and check to check and month to month, then you're impatient and you haven't read the top 10 distinctions between the millionaires and the middle class, because they talk about that long-term thinking. It requires patience to be thinking and planning for next year, 2 years from now. Patience.
And I find it interesting, kind of piggyback. I find it interesting, we'll be patient to go through 4 years of training, right? And once we're done with 4 years of training, then maybe we get a boost in pay or a pay raise or whatever on our jobs, right? But we won't be patient for 1, 2, or 3 years here in our business, because what's happening is everyone's learning curve is different. So you got to be patient. So that what happens is we're looking at other people having success, and maybe we're not. Or maybe they have a different circle of sphere of influence, or maybe you don't. And so you got to be a little bit more patient than the next person. Like for instance, Daryl's a 2-star, Daryl Jenkins, and you're a 2-star, right? So guess what? My 2 is coming, but I have to be patient and not become impatient, because a lot of people, like you said earlier, I think Daryl might have said this, a lot of people are giving up on the business because they don't have the patience. And in this industry, this is going to help you have patience. You're going to do a lot of work in the beginning and make little money, but on the back end, you make a lot of money and pretty much the same work. So you're getting paid more for what you're doing on the back end. But in order to get to the back end, you got to have patience.
Roger, you said something that was key. You talked about that 4 years of training. I'm not sure what job a person works 4 years to train. That might have been college education, right? You thinking, 4 years of schooling and then get a job. But most people don't even find a job in their career that they go and study in and get a degree in, right? So now they've wasted 4 years. They've accumulated another bill, and then they go work for somebody just to be able to pay off the student loans. Here we have an opportunity, and I think what most people tend to not look at is this is not a thing or a club or a hobby. You're now an entrepreneur, and so your mindset definitely has to shift to a place where you're thinking like a CEO. When I talk to people, especially travel agents, right? I just came from Dreammakers in Denver training them, and I'm telling them, your thought process when you wake up in the morning and when you go to bed late at night is to think like the CEO of your own business. You have to start building business principles so that you start to create a system that works for you. The business of entrepreneurship is not cookie cutter. And something you said also was that you may have a different sphere of influence. That's the truth, because somebody's business could skyrocket faster than somebody else's. But the reality is this: they probably tried or thought about how to execute this where the next person doesn't know where to start. And they won't ask the questions because they've gotten impatient because it didn't get them rich in the first 30 days. Now they want to quit.
Now they want to quit. Speaking of patience, two things that come to mind right now. One, per the definition that we was reading. See, here's some people think that they're patient because they actually wait, but per the definition, it says without getting angry or upset. right? So you some of you might be waiting, but you getting angry and upset. It still says you're not patient. So you haven't quit. You're still around. But when situations change or something takes place that you don't like, you might still be complaining and murmuring and things like that nature. The new person that joins, Daryl, I had a person recently, or a couple of people recently, when they join, you're in the business for 2 seconds and they ready to book a person's honeymoon, destination wedding, and the whole nine. You don't even know the IATA number or how to get it. And then it's like, listen, I got 15 bookings right now. People want to book trips right now. And now you rushing us. It took you 6 months to join. And now that you join, you got 15 bookings, and now you need to know how to get them facilitated tomorrow. And now I'm frustrated if I can't get these people's trips booked tomorrow. You need some patience. I told the person that, listen, if you bought a barbershop today, you own the barbershop and you own the daggone tools to cut hair. But I promise you on day one, if you haven't been trained on how to cut hair, you might not want to cut nobody's hair. You could, but you might not want to. Same thing with this business. You just got started. You need to have some practical patience, right? This ain't the lotto. Some practical patience that says, you know what? Let me take some time to learn what I got. Patience. All right, the next one. The L, we're spelling the word platinum. If you just jumped on, we're breaking down the acronym of the word platinum. It's an amazing team that we're all a part of. Now we're getting ready to break down that L for leverage. Go ahead, Mr. Lillard, break down the L.
Man,
all the time you need a team.
It's a beautiful word within itself and the network marketing industry. And actually, it was one of the reasons why I fell in love with the industry because I'm kind of go back a little bit, everybody. But in 1997, when I got involved in the industry, I met someone who made more money in a month than I made an entire year. Right? Right in my living room, I'll never forget. Gentleman sat down, put these circles on the board, and he said, "If you do this and you do that and you share this and you do this," and so I'm like, "Wow, that's amazing." But what got me was, I've been working all year long, and this guy was free from the 9 to 5, and he showed me one of his checks. I was sold 1997. I'll never forget it. And this guy was doing $28,000 or $30,000 per month in residual. And I said, "Oh," it blew me away. And so I just fell in love with being able to help people see that light because I found something that, I did. I found something that that could not just help myself and my family, but help other people see that light. What are y'all laughing at? Am I freezing again? Oh, y'all laughing at my 1997 story? So if y'all new on here, we do this, y'all. We having fun. This is podcast style. So, but anyway, just to imagine being able to create. There's a platform in place where you can partner with, and now you can create buy back some of your time. Like if you're working 2 jobs or 3 jobs right now, and then instead of working the second job or the third job, start your part-time business, which all of you have already if you're watching this tonight. Right now, you get your income up to $400 or $500 a month part time, but residually, now you don't have to go from one building to the next building to make some extra income. Now you can stay home with your family and spend that time with your family versus you having to go to another building. And then what's happening also, we're taking that part time job, and now we bought a new car and we bought a house. Now it's part of our livelihood. We can't give it up. Now we stuck. We created a monster that we got to take care of. So now we got to spend more time away from our families. Then now we got to spend time with people that we really don't like. And I like what Mr. Scott says. He says now because he's free, he gets to spend more time with his family versus spending more time with people on his job. And so leverage is a beautiful thing. This opportunity we're in a great place. But at the end of the day, Networking will allow you to create leverage for yourself. And then you two guys, I'm sure can go on. I can go on too, but I'm gonna let you go, Daryl.
So I'm gonna give leverage a difference, but I'm gonna look at it from a perspective of leveraging the time and talents of other people, the people in your success line. I think that a lot of times, because we're independent or people start to pay a business, right, they start to go off on their own island, and so they start to grow cold versus staying where they can kind of be nurtured and grown through a process until they become uh, above novice level, right? And then they grow into a professional level. There's some people I remember when I got started in this industry about 10 years ago, being a part of the Platinum Network, watching you guys, right? Sitting in Eric's basement at a hot Saturday training, right? Leveraging the time and talents of other people, learning from people who were where I desired to be. And then, pop my collar, when you learn from those people, you become those people, right? So sometimes people they feel like they shouldn't leverage other people. They want to go off and do their own thing. And the only time we hear from them is when they frustrated. They done tried everything and they've exhausted everything. No, you stick and you ask questions. Leverage your leaders, because that's what we're here for. We've done exactly what you've done. We started from ground zero, built organizations. We've booked a lot of travel. And we needed to make sure that we understood it so we can help you all. So for those of you who are brand new, who may not have exercised patience in the beginning, right? Learn to leverage the time and talents of your leaders, because we definitely understand where you've been and can help you get out of that space.
I hope y'all picking up them nuggets that's being dropped. They leaving the bread trail and crumbs and nuggets for y'all to pick them up. I hope y'all picking them nuggets up.
Reggie said it was hot in your basement for real. He said he needs some of that dip right now.
We had the AC on 50, 4, 5. You understand what happens when you get about 75 people in the basement,
They had the good dip though. That dip was bomb. The dip with the chips.
That's what Reggie said. He needs some.
I might have to make some just for y'all. So look, we digress, but the L for leverage, I'm gonna take this angle. At the end of the day, not all of us on this call right now, but most of us are taking advantage of this opportunity as a legitimate business opportunity. And my mentor told me a long time ago that, listen, Doc, businesses are about people, right? At the end of the day. And if your business doesn't have a bunch of people, that means you probably are the business and you're self-employed. Outside of that scope of thinking, the business has a bunch of other people to leverage the time and talents, like how Mr. Jenkins was talking about, but not from that scenario, so that you can be doing something else, right? That's why you put people in place so you can be off doing something else. Leverage. I'm not knocking anyone that wants to be the ITA only, right? In the business framework, you don't have much leverage from that scope of things. You can make a bunch of money, hands down. But if you get sick or you go on vacation for 3-4 months, then nothing's getting done. No money's getting made outside of the stuff you already had on the books. But if you got leverage, that means you have some people who can do what you were doing, and now you're not there. This is leverage, right? This is the reason why, just last week, until the guy crashed my truck the other day, I had a team of guys out cleaning. I'm online talking to y'all, and they're out there cleaning. It's leverage. You travel business owners should be able to have a bunch of people that are partnered with you, booking trips in spite of you. Whether you get up this week or not, you stay in the bed all month, you have created leverage for yourself, because in this amazing opportunity, you earn, as a goal builder, you earn 10% override, leverage off all the travel bookings from all your frontline people. Are you kidding me? 10%? This is major leverage. This is opening up a barbershop or hair salon without the upfront cost. And I got business partners who own barbershops and hair salons. I know what that overhead is. Are you telling me that we can create leverage without being confined to any four walls in some geographical location? Online, the internet helps you create that same leverage and build yourself a team like Deborah Bond did, over 500 travel professionals worldwide. That is leverage, ladies and gentlemen. Because if Miss Deborah Bond, bless her heart, if she never books another trip for anybody else, because she's going to book her own trips, but if she never books another trip for anybody else for the rest of her days, leverage says that she's always going to be getting paid every month in this travel space. That's leverage, ladies and gentlemen.
Check this out. You got something just hit my brain. I gotta share it. So listen, right? So if you have patience and you get leverage, right? You know, we everyone is on this plan. This is 40 plan, 40 hours a week, 40 years your life to retire on 40%, right? So what we have to offer to our constituents base that we have, or friends, family, doesn't matter who they are, what we have to offer is an opportunity to have leverage, because that last 40%, when you retire, most people have to do a couple of things. They either have to go back to work, right? Because that 40% is not enough, right? And some people say that, well, we got to downsize because, you know, they don't make enough money. And so to eliminate that, here's an opportunity where you can create a network, you can create some leverage. So when you do retire, you can continue to maintain the same lifestyle that you already have. So, but you have to have patience to get there. And then having that patience will also create the leverage for you when it's time to retire. Back to you, sir.
Oh, well, look, we're about to throw it right back to you anyway for this next letter in the word platinum, ladies and gentlemen. We're breaking down the acronym in the word platinum. We're now on A. A is for attitude. For attitude, Mr. Lillard, go ahead and jump on that one. Attitude.
Man, it's major. It's probably the strongest letter in the word platinum. You know, you gotta be careful who you hang around, who you listening to, right? If you hang around 9 broke people, you'll be number 10. If you hang around 9 negative people, you'll be number 10. And so sometimes we're around the wrong people that creates a poor attitude in our business. And so if you have an attitude of this is going to get done, you know, A.L. Williams is one of my mentors. This gentleman says, always be positive, right? In this industry, if you're going to be a leader, you cannot show any slippage in your attitude. We're not perfect, right? I get that, but you know, we have to be problem solvers. So, you know, when your attitude is right, your network will be right. You got it, because people are watching us, right? Like Eric said earlier, you know, we're in a people business. So it can just take one time to have a bad attitude, and that thing spreads like a wildfire in your network. Now everybody thinks that, you know, when you walk in a room, it's a cloud over your head. They don't want to be near you. And so, but you know, your attitude is everything. So you have to have a positive attitude. And watch this. Also, reading will help you out as well. What you're listening to. I listen to Les Brown probably 4 or 5 times a week. They have 5-minute audios. They have 10-minute ones. Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, Mark Victor Hansen, the list goes on and on. What are you listening to? Trash in, trash out. And so, you know, you got to feed your mind with some positive stuff to keep you focused on keeping a proper attitude.
You know, that's good, Roger. You know, people don't want to be around a bunch of negative Neds and a bunch of negative Nancys. People get into the business and they complain about every single thing, and that's predicated by their attitude, right? Again, we're programmed to be employees, not the employer or a business entrepreneur. So sometimes our mental kind of determines the way we think. You always hear people saying, "Oh, it should work like this," or "I think it should be this way," right? So when you find that you adjusting your attitude and you're conforming to becoming an entrepreneur, it helps you to propel. I always tell people I have a attitude that's filled with posture because I took the time to learn what I needed to learn in the industry. And I think that when people
Yes,
grow
you did.
and they understand like the inner workings of it, because it's easy for you to partner and start a business, but if you don't understand the how to, like I wanted to know how the things work on the back end. My attitude was that I was a go-getter, and most people don't have that get up and go. They have that same attitude to go to work, as Eric mentioned earlier, but they don't have that same attitude to win in their business for something that can't be taken away from them. And so sometimes you got to look at, where do you sit in this opportunity? What's driving you? And where's your attitude? Do you have an attitude that is that you have, as Roger always talks about, that thinking that's going to keep you stuck in a space where you're thinking negatively about every single thing, or having doubts, oh, this ain't going to work, or I ain't going to be able to do this, or I'm not. And I remember walking into the first convention with that same thought, I would never have an organization of 100 people, and here we are, sneeze away from 500. So the thing is, you could do whatever you want to if you changed your attitude about how you're going about the business.
I love it. I love it. Y'all picking up these nuggets? I can't tell, Mr. Litt. I'm not looking at it. Are they dropping some hearts? Are we getting some hearts or thumbs up or whatever?
I think they sleep over there.
They're over there sleepy, dropping all these daggone nuggets.
They not no love, man.
They might need an attitude check.
Show us some love, y'all. We dropping nuggets.
There's a saying that goes that your attitude is a reflection or an outward reflection of your inward thoughts, right? Your attitude is an outward reflection of your inward thoughts, or really what's on your mind, right? And Mr. Jenkins was just talking about you should need to change your attitude. Well, if changing your attitude, that directly means you need to change your mind. Well, if in order to change your mind, what the heck do you do to change your mind? In order to change your mind, you need to change your environment, people, places, and things that you are listening to and or looking at. That's how you change your attitude. Changing your attitude. Let me read this. Attitudes serve as a way for individuals to express their core values and identity. Mr. Jenkins was just talking about that, right? Based on how he thinks and processes things, you can pick up the type of attitude he has. And if someone said, Mr. Jenkins, you need to change your attitude, only way for him to do that is to get some new knowledge in the direction of change and what we're talking about. Same thing with my attitude towards eating and drinking, right? 3 a.m. I had a daggone ice cream, cookies, and some ice cream after I ate a chicken sandwich. I'm talking about me. This real live. I can't make this up. This was 3 a.m. this morning. Chicken sandwich, ice cream, and cookies. I was on the fat boy time. Look, my attitude, unfortunately, hasn't really changed towards my health as it should. As much as I talk, as much as I can, it is what it is. You can tell if my attitude towards health has changed based on the thing that you see me daggone doing. I just got finished crushing that ice cream. I promise y'all it was good too. Now I paid for it, right? You're gonna pay for it. But in order for my attitude to change, something's gonna have to take place mentally first. And then after it takes place mentally first, then you see me, you're gonna see me doing some things differently as it pertains to health. How does this relate to business and what we're talking about? Some of y'all, the way y'all think about money need to change. I promise you, some of y'all, the way y'all think about network marketing needs to change. Your attitude is piss poor about the way you think about network marketing. And it's the industry that you're in. And the only way for your attitude to change about this industry is probably for you to study this industry and to really take some things seriously. Now, if that's not your cup of tea, then don't even worry about it. Go ahead, Mr. Little. I hear you.
Yeah, I'm chomping. So I love this because I hear somebody saying, you know what, I do have a bad attitude, but how do I change this attitude? And we've shared a few things. Daryl shared a few things. You shared a few things. But I'm telling you right now, what's helped me out, and I can tell, like, watch this. When you start working on your personal development, right? When you start reading, and I know yes, we got 5 core books, but there's a zillion books you can read about attitude, how to better your attitude. When you start reading those books and then practicing what you're reading, applying what you're reading, what you're learning, you'll find yourself. I've been through some recent situations and conversations that have been heated, right? However, because of the books that I've read, the audios that I've listened to, I can dig down subconsciously. I can dig down into those books and those things and remember and bring forth, like when I'm having the conversation, how to handle it. And so one of the things that I love about the relationship I have with Mr. Scott, we don't always agree on everything. I promise you. Joe shaking his head. So because we just are human, right? Hey, Eric, come on. How many times me and you done had conversations and we done like 2 rounds? We like this, but at the end of that conversation, we always find a way to have level ground.
Hey, that'd be you.
Get out of that conversation without being mad. Because watch this. If you're getting mad, now you're letting your personal attitude affect your business. And there's no money in your feelings.
You know what, Raj? That's good, because I used to tell people you can't let your personal impact your professional. So you can have, whatever your personal attitude is, you can have it, but you got to have that switch, right? You got to know when to put it on. It's almost like when we get dressed up to go to the meetings and conventions, right? I'm not wearing a suit every single day, but there's a switch. I got to know when to turn it on and be professional and when to turn it off. It's like showtime, baby.
Showtime. So look, I recommended to you all several times, not one of the 5 core books, but one of the best books on attitude for you potential leaders and leaders, Attitudes 101. It's an amazing book. If you got too busy to actually read the hard copy, get it on Audible, right? Attitudes 101 would definitely give you an eye-opening way to look at and view different people. We're in the people business. Should be studying people. Another book that would definitely help you, not book, but stuff that you should be studying. You need to study the different colors, the colors or the attitude, whatever they call it now. What do they call that training?
Personality.
The personality trainings, right? So understanding, when you have an understanding of a different person's personality and how they move or how they think, it helps you deal with that person, and it helps you navigate and make different decisions, right? And it's all about attitude. And if your attitude towards someone is shady or a little shaky because they act a certain way, ask yourself, have you taken time to understand why that person is acting that way? Because you want that same type of empathy when it's your child in the street acting up. Oh, that ain't really them, right? Now is you need to understand that my child is this some other person than what I'm looking at, right? We need to dig a little deeper into your team members. And look, I know what pisses certain people off, and I know why, right? So-and-so like to sip. So-and-so gets stressed out between this hour and this hour. You need to understand the attitudes of these people, and it'll help you not be stressed out, right? Because if I understand, if I'm gonna use Two Jackets for example, if Two Jackets is bat doo-doo crazy, and I understand it, and he was dropped on his head as a child, we understand Two Jackets is crazy. Ain't nothing he can say crazy out his mouth to upset me, because he crazy, and we all know it, right? But now, if I know he's perfectly sane and he's saying something outside of the norm, then that's different. But I took the time to understand people's attitudes. It's usually the reason why it's hard to get me upset, right? Me and Mr. Little just go back and forth. It's a little sparring match. We ain't really boxing. We just sparring because, we two big head bammers that know a lot, right? So it's different.
And iron sharpens iron too.
Iron sharpens iron. That ain't even supposed to sound cute. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? what we on? What we at next?
The T.
The T. Oh, that T.
We need to let Two Jackets start with that one.
That T for that train.
Let them roll, rock and roll, baby.
Go ahead, Two Jackets, jump on that T.
Man, listen, training. I've got to say, hands down, the Platinum Network is probably the most well-trained organization in all of Planet Marketing. And not just because I'm a part of it, but because I got an opportunity to watch it evolve, right? I think a lot of people, if they stuck to the training, it's so much free game. Like these dudes got years and years and years of experience. They've been in different companies. They've experienced things prior to that. And I always share Mr. Bradley's story. And I tell people when I talk about network marketing from this perspective, I talk about how he saw all of the things that went wrong in his previous network marketing career opportunities and decided when he started his own company, he was fixing all of that. Whatever he felt was wrong or how they did the people wrong, he didn't want that here in his company. And so his leaders are training that through their organizations. And sometimes when people aren't connected to the training spouts, they're missing it. So they're continuously doing the things because they're bypassing the training. We got travel training. Like nobody is sitting and spending time bringing in our business development managers to come and speak intimately to our group of 2,000 agents to help you understand the industry to be successful. You have 6 master ambassadors, 2 ambassadors, a total of 8 who can pour into this organization and help you with every single thing imaginable. You got escalation. You got so much help here. We got What's the Word Wednesday, a game plan call, boot camps, this camp, that camp, summer camp, make money and like we got a ton of resources and training to help you sharpen your own axe if that's what you want. And most don't show up for their own success and then make excuses or complain when they make a mistake and can't find help. You got to show up for your own success first.
Man, he said a lot. Ain't leave me much room, but I'm gonna try to shoot for something, man.
You always got something in your back pocket.
So I will say this though. Daryl said something. There's really no excuse. There's zero excuse. I've been networking for matter of fact, this October, y'all, it'll be 26 years I've been in this industry. Yeah.
You said you was old.
Right. But I've never seen a network that has the platform for everybody, no matter if you're in Jamaica, no matter if you're in Florida, California, where we at? London, doesn't matter where you at. We have a platform for everybody to be able to partake in that's in our network to learn. There's enough training. I always say there's enough training in this organization to choke a horse. So there's no excuses for anybody not to know. Like for instance, we just at the top of this program, we went over announcements. Like when people say, "Well, I didn't know about that," well, that's because you're not plugged in. That's a whole nother training. But like Daryl said, there's no excuses. All the training is here. We got the best, the creme de la creme trainers in the entire company, right? And you have access to them. Watch this. Why is it they tell us that they can train all 94,000 people, but nobody in the network not calling them up to say, "How do you do this?" Come on now. They're telling us that they're available, but we turn around saying, "I don't know what to do," but we're not calling them. Give them a call, right? Don't feel like there it is. Go back to your attitude, right? What is your attitude like? Is your attitude is saying, "Well, I'm not going to call Daryl or Amani or Deborah Bond because I might bother them"? You're pretty much killing your business. They have the information, so contact them. They're there to help you all. Again, training is important. That's why it's in our acronym on Platinum. It's important. Get training. Make a schedule for yourself. Cut the TV off on the weekends and take 30 minutes to an hour to do some training to learn your business. Back to you, Eric.
Look, 2 things. One, training hurts, guys. That's the reason why people avoid getting trained. It hurts. It absolutely hurts to be stretched, right? I don't care what the training is. It hurts. It hurts. In order to learn something new, your brain got to be stretched, right? People don't want to get outside of the comfort zone. They're comfortable in their discomfort or wherever they're currently at. Most people are like, listen, give me the $1 million with me being the person I am today. I don't want to be the new person that you telling me I need to be in order to get this $1 million or this 6 figures. I want to be who I am today. I want to know what I know today and make the 6 figures. The second reason they don't get the training is because at the end of the day, guys, it's not paid training. Because you ain't getting paid to go to the training. That's why they're not showing up. For the same reason they don't show up when they saying, hey, make these phone calls, do these other things that don't pay you today. Because when your job say, show your monkey butt up for training, guess who there 15 minutes early with coffee and donuts? When your job say, in order to get this advanced pay that you want, that you done went to school for and you still owe Sally Mae and them for, when your job say to get that next level of promotion, that next level of money, they say, hey, you're going to have to go get this. It requires this, that, and these letters in front of your name or whatever else the case may be in corporate America. You guys know. And guess what? Because they're going to pay you for the time that you did. Look, I was the former level 4 communications technician. God dang it, because they paid me. You mean tell me I'm going to get 30 days of not having to go be the cable guy and sit down and get some classroom knowledge? You're going to teach me something new and you're going to pay me more for what I know? Yeah, I'll sign up for that.
Hey, they even go to bed. They even go to bed early, man, the night before, man.
Look, you're going to pay for it and go to bed early. Oh, my God. Right? But then when we say, hey, we got to wait for you to make no cap on the money, you're going to have to come get this training. It ain't coming to you, right? It ain't mandatory. When it comes to you, it's mandatory. It ain't coming to you. You got to come get this training. You got to show up for your own rescue or participate in your own rescue. And that hurts, man. For real, for real. It hurts learning some new things about money that go against what you previously thought about money, right? And now you got to sit down for 30 minutes and listen to us tell you how foolish you was with your money, and then that steps on your pride and your ego, and you like, who you talking to? And we just keeping it real. I tell people that all the time, you have to learn to separate your feelings from your finances. We talk 2 different things. And in this, because we're talking about business, all how you feel is out of the way. And because you sign up for this business, the business says the training involved. I recommend, depending on your goal, you get some training. Depending on your goal. I say depending on your goal, because some of y'all here just to be ITA only. Get you some training. Some of you want to be combination of both. Get you some training. The training is free. The reward is priceless.
It's nugget.
Something you said though, E, was key. You know, that they show up for the training at the job because it's paid, but over here because it's not paid. Well, let's not look at it from that perspective. If people looked at it from a perspective, as much training as I can gain, I could probably get way more money if I knew what I was doing. That's the approach I took when I started the business. I took time to learn about the business. You know, I said that at the start of the call. I took 6 to 8 months to learn all things travel. I wanted to understand, if I got an error message in a platform, what does this mean and how do I fix it? People just want to go to a booking engine, put some dates and a destination in, right? I understood if I could apply myself to learn how all of these supplier portals work, then I could figure out how many trips I needed to book in alignment with that. And then how I can get a check every single month to maximize the income opportunity, double back and simply sharing where my clients was going. And now my team is growing because people are asking, how do I do that? So the training prepared me to be able to excel in the business because I made the decision. And I do show up for both trainings, the free ones and the ones that I get paid for, because IntelliTravel just flew me out. So I'm just
look at that.
Saying, you know,
I flew out. Right?
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, real quick.
Came up, Rod. She getting flued out.
Getting flued out. So I just wanted to share something real quick and piggyback on what Daryl is saying is, you know, with this training that you're going to receive, you know, Planet Marketing, there's an art, it's a network marketing business, there's an art and a craft to that, and then IntelliTravel is, you know, learning how to become a professional travel advisor. There's an art and a craft to that too. But the beauty of it all is once you get trained, it's something that can never be taken away from you. You'll always know it, right? And we put more energy, and again, this is not us beating up on jobs or anything, but we put so much energy on how to learn how to work for somebody else. I'm going to go back to get my certification for this so I can, that's fantastic. But what if you can get these certifications for yourself? Because once you become certified in whatever, Jamaica certifications, Daryl, you know all the certifications, right? What if you get certified here? Now it's yours. And no matter what happens, you'll always have that training, that knowledge to be able to carry with you the rest of your life. That's yours, not somebody else's.
But you know what? You know, Eric talked about having those initials behind your name. You know, when you think about becoming a certified travel advisor, getting certified through the Travel Institute, there's a rigorous program where you could get that CTA, those post-nominal initials behind your name. You could do the same thing with CLEAR, understanding cruises, becoming a certified cruise counselor or an accredited cruise counselor.
Post what?
Post-nominal.
Hey, Eric, I ain't say nothing, but that's that two jacket talk. You know what I'm saying?
What I'm saying is that's what we're looking for. That's how you know you're professional, when you can add that to your email signature. And you know, when your clients look at it, they're like, okay, you got something going. See, some people just do this as I'm gonna just try this thing out. But they don't understand that our opportunity is not on trial. IntelliTravel is 31 plus years old. They got major relationships with all vendors and suppliers worldwide. They got major media plugs. Like we're doing Dreammakers in the UK, and soon we'll be doing it in Ireland, right? And we'll be open up in Canada. So they're doing Dreammaker events in major countries. The largest host agency in the world, it's documented. It was just written in an article in one of the travel publications as IntelliTravel being the largest, having 94,000 plus active agents around the world. No other host agency got numbers like that, which means, guess what? Suppliers are looking for us because our sales volume, $70,000 the first quarter of 2023, $550 million in travel booked in 2022 coming out of a pandemic. Where could you ever find a spot comfortably where you could grow a business and you pay very little to do so in the $8 trillion industry? That's what people don't get. That's what they don't get. And so it's casual because they feel like, oh, I pay for it. Or again, I always say they could do it from their couch or from their phone. But if you really think about, if you took the time to be everywhere you're supposed to be and learn this, I tell them, was just talking about this in Dreammaker. They're like, so where you going next? I'm like, you know, my schedule kind of balances between IntelliTravel and Planet Marketing. I was in Denver last weekend. Next weekend, I'll be at Seven Figure School in Atlanta. I leave Seven Figure School and go to Tulum with IntelliTravel. I leave Tulum and come back and go to Orlando for Planet Marketing. I'm everywhere I'm supposed to be. That's why I get the money that I get, because I don't have a problem with getting on a plane or paying for it because I know it's going to grow my business.
Nuggets drop, Eric.
Trainer. I mean, he just dropping so many nuggets. I mean, listen, doctors.
The mic now, man. You just drop it.
When I was in real estate, there was a thing called continued education. We had to continue to always go get it, and you had to pay for it. That crap wasn't free. They had conferences on teach me how to make more money in real estate. The doctors got to continue to go, learn what new drugs to pimp to us, right? And those they got to go pay for that stuff. We did a training not too long ago. I think it was last year on how to break down your days. If you part-time or you full-time. But for those part-time people, there was a section where we discussed in 30 minutes, even if you only had 30 minutes, I'm paraphrasing without, for lack of time. Even if you only had 30 minutes, imagine if you took 15 minutes every day to learn something new, and then another 15 minutes every day to apply what you learned new.
Ooh.
That's 30 minutes. Do that every day. 30 minutes. Learn something new to help you grow your business. 15 minutes, and then apply it the next 15 minutes. I promise you, you're going to love the fruit that comes from them seeds you've been planting. 15 minutes learning something new on TikTok, Raj. 15 minutes applying something new on TikTok, Raj. Got you somebody getting ready to get signed up this week on TikTok. Or how about Facebook? Or how about Instagram? Or how about something about this business? 15 minutes to learn something new. 15 minutes to learn how to put together a post on how to go to Costa Rica. And then spend 15 minutes posting that flyer that you just learned how to create in 5 or 6 different places.
I gotta give P. Scott. I don't know if he's watching that, but I gotta give him some props on that because he's been talking to me about TikTok for probably 3-4 years, right? And I'm like, man, that's for the kids, man, that's for the youngsters, right? And so I finally, with the influence of Mr. Scott and RJ, my son, I got on TikTok, and I'm telling you all, TikTok is fire. I'm telling you.
Telling y'all about TikTok since it was the other daggone name of the company, that silly name. What was it? Musical.ly.
What? I missed what you were saying.
At the end of the day, y'all better jump on social media.
Yes, there you go.
Right?
TikTok is fire.
This social media. Speaking of social media, at 8:30, we got the Wind Down Wednesdays. It's just in just a couple minutes, so you got just a couple more minutes to invite your guests. On the next time you guys see us, we will be going over the last 4 remaining letters in the word platinum, the enum. We're going over the enum. We didn't already went over the plat. And on Sunday, we're going over the enum.
So don't miss it. Daryl, you gonna be available, Mr. Jenkins?
I'm always available when I'm in the country.
Yes,
always available. So look, y'all got plenty of time. We be right here. Special, what's the word edition? 8:30.
Sunday.
Going over the last 4 letters. Where's our outro music at?
You the DJ.
I don't know what happened. See y'all later. The music is doing what it wants to do apparently. Peace, love, and hair grease. We'll see y'all all on the talk.